Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Joseph Kurtz, and I am the Vice President of Academic Affairs and Chief Academic Officer at Emmanuel College. I am honored to welcome the class of 2020 back to 400 the Fenway for this much-anticipated commencement celebration. Please stand while Julia Shapiro from the class of 2020 sings the National Anthem. I ask that you then please remain standing while Father Terrence Deveneaux, Vice President of Ministry and Mission, delivers the invocation.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
My friends, let us pray. O compassionate and loving God, you are our Creator, the maker of heaven and earth. On this commencement day, may we show great and profound respect and gratitude to all those who have made sacrifices to see this day. Parents, families, and friends, selfless advisors and mentors, dedicated faculty, staff, administrators, and trustees. As we celebrate and honor our distinguished graduates, may they always recognize that what they have accomplished and what they have achieved was completed with your unfailing help and grace. Like those who have gone before us, we stand on the shoulders of greatness, and from that place, there we see the stars, and there we dream. Please allow the daughters and the sons of Alma Mater, God with us, encouragement in their dreaming always. May this commencement inspire and empower us to work together in your name. to eradicate all forms of racism, hatred, and violence, so that we might build a community of equality, peace, and justice for all people. Like the saints who inspire, especially St. Julie, may our learning never conclude, and may our hearts remain open, for we need a little more forgiveness, we need a little more love, and we are in need of much more hope. Hear this, our prayer, in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Please be seated. President Sister Janet Eisner, members of the Board of Trustees, relatives and friends of the graduates, and most especially the members of the class of 2020, I welcome you to Emmanuel College as we celebrate the first class to graduate in Emmanuel's second century. I want to acknowledge in a special way the hard work, sacrifice, encouragement, and support of family and friends who have helped to bring each graduate to the fulfillment and achievement we celebrate today. I am pleased now to introduce our student speakers, Bruce French, representing the graduates of our graduate and professional programs, and Gianna Kittle, speaking on behalf of the graduates of our traditional undergraduate arts and sciences program.
Good afternoon. Thank you to Sister Janet, Dr. Kurtz, members of the Emmanuel faculty and Board of Trustees, and most importantly, the Emmanuel College Class of 2020. Just 1.5 years ago, like many of you, I had a strong expectation of what the months ahead would be like. In December 2019, I got married, completed my master's degree, and was looking forward to commencement that upcoming May. We all know how that turned out. Instead, like many of us, I had to settle for a photo taken by my wife in front of the Emmanuel College sign, wearing a borrowed cap and gown, a face mask, and basketball shorts, all while staying vigilant for the gangs of geese that had taken over the Fenway. This graduating class has faced challenges and crossed frontiers that no other graduating class at Emmanuel had previously faced or could have even imagined. These challenges taught us resilience, bravery, and other important values. Although we were separated physically from our classmates and colleagues, our friends and family, we learned and curated new techniques and skills to keep our relationships strong. Many here today learned how to teach loved ones how to use Zoom or FaceTime. Although it was hard to be physically away from those we loved, we felt solace in seeing them, albeit virtually, on holidays and other special occasions. Even though it may not have seemed like it at the time, these experiences shaped us in valuable ways. Combined with the values that we learned at Emmanuel, this class is well prepared to prosper in roles of leadership in our professional careers and in global engagement. But most importantly, this past 1.5 years has solidified the importance of compassion for others that we learned at Emmanuel, and how small acts of service in difficult times make an enormous difference to those that need our help. These acts of service do not need to be difficult to make an impact. In fact, the smallest efforts can have the greatest effect. As we've seen over the last 1.5 years, an action as simple as wearing a face covering over one's mouth and nose can protect others. How something so simple can save lives. At this time, when self-interests too often take precedence over selflessness, we should look to our past for insights into our future. 60 years ago, a former board member of this institution, President John F. Kennedy, in his inaugural speech in January 1961, said that a trumpet summons us, a call to bear the burdens of a long twilight struggle, year in and year out, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, a struggle against the common enemies of man, tyranny, poverty, disease, and war itself. 60 years later, we are still being called to that struggle. To the Emmanuel College Class of 2020, I say this: we will prevail in that struggle because of the skills, values, and compassion that we have been blessed with during our time at Emmanuel. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Awesome. It's such an honor to be here with all of you today for a very delayed yet well-deserved celebration. I'd like to acknowledge Sister Janet, Dr. Kurtz, members of the Board of Trustees, and of course, the class of 2020. I'd like to take this time to read a short poem recapping the past 4 years and our year of unprecedented times. The class of 2020 surely ran a race, and I wasn't sure if we'd ever make it back to this place. In the fall of 2016, many of us began our journey, whether we were here to become a scientist, a doctor, or even an attorney. Along the way, we had classmates who transferred in to join us, and new friends were always in surplus. Freshman year was filled with ups and downs. At one point, it was oddly enough filled with crazy clowns. Sophomore year came with sophomore pinning. We decided our majors, and we were all grinning. Junior year gave us a new residence hall, and also some slight flooding, if I can recall. Senior year brought us COVID-19, and wow, that still feels like a really bad dream. Although the amount of schoolwork we had was hearty, we never forgot to live life and party. Our paths were all distinct, but somehow we were all still interlinked. Some of us lived down the hall from one another in Loretto, while others of us sang a cappella together as falsettos. Some of us created lifelong friendships with teammates, while some of us created lifelong friendships with roommates. Some of us asked for incoming first-year students to give me a long E, while others of us remained focused on that degree. To my surprise, the thing that always bonded us the most was an order of fingers and fries. Our time at Emmanuel felt short, and I contribute that to the amazing support, whether it was the faculty who wouldn't rest until they helped us find an internship, or the staff who held us up when we felt like we were going to slip. The mentors we met along the way were just as instrumental in our journey as the friends we saw every day. And we can't forget to thank our parents and guardians who supported us from the beginning when our futures were blank. Even though you couldn't always reach us by car, we always felt your love and support from afar. COVID-19 was something we definitely didn't ask for, but it certainly was something that we couldn't ignore. We were all on spring break when we got the email that we thought must have been a mistake. The class of 2020 surely ran a race, and we weren't sure if we'd ever make it back to this place. Nevertheless, we progressed. We went to our childhood room to finish our semester on Zoom. We had to remain a boss while also coping with a lot of loss. And we did it. We made it back here after such a chaotic year. Today, we celebrate all of us, those who are here and those who unfortunately aren't near. Not to be cheesy, but getting to this moment has not been easy. So congratulations to the class of 2020 for staying sane. It's time to celebrate with a glass of champagne. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce and Gianna. I am pleased to introduce Emmanuel College's 12th president and a sister of Notre Dame de Namur, Sister Janet Eisner. Since her inauguration in 1979, Sister Janet has consistently created new ways to bring the college's mission to life for new generations of students. Amid change, she has kept the college rooted in its commitments to intellectual inquiry, a strong sense of community, and service to others. Sister Janet will now address the graduates.
Family members, friends of our graduates of the class of 2020, I am most pleased to welcome you today to Emmanuel College, founded way back in 1919 by the Sisters of Notre Dame. A special welcome to all joining us via live telecast. We're grateful for your virtual presence and for your participation in this joyful celebration. Congratulations, first, to members of the class of 2020 who received degrees through our graduate and professional programs. May your studies in the fields of education, nursing, and management continue to open doors for you in your chosen professions and enrich the lives of those you teach, those you care for, and those you lead. And congratulations to the class of 2020 graduates of our full-time liberal arts and sciences program. Your Emmanuel journey has been extraordinary. I know that the events of the last 18 months may make earlier ones seem distant, but today it is worth recalling some of the experience that have unified you as a class. You heard them poetically a few moments ago. You took part in the college's historic celebration and launch of our second century. You saw the completion of our 18-story residence hall, whose modern apartments became home to many of you. As student athletes, you captured 4 GNAC team titles. Do you remember that? At your senior year academic convocation, you heard Caroline Kennedy extol a life of public service. Her inspiring words echoed those of her father, President John F. Kennedy, who called on Americans to live lives that would, quote, light our country, and the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And yes, you rose to the historic challenges of a global pandemic. One moment, you were leaving campus for your 2020 spring break. The next, you were adapting to new virtual modes of learning, in some cases from other time zones and with added family obligations. As you confronted unforeseen demands and uncertainties, you drew strength from your connections with faculty and with one another. What is more, you demonstrated a versatility and perseverance that is serving you well now and will continue to throughout your lives. I remember, graduates, welcoming you to campus in this very gym in September of 2016. On that day, I noted that the years to come would likely bring immense changes in the realms of biomedicine, communication, culture, and the economy. The last year and a half has shown just how sudden and substantial those changes can be. Yet if our world has been transformed, so have you. Here at Emmanuel, you sharpened your ability to question paradigms and create new ones, to make connections across domains of knowledge, formulate creative ideas, and make informed decisions, and for the well-being of others. You acquired the skill to apply knowledge in real world, work on teams, make valuable contributions in business and research settings. And in an era that some describe as post-factual, you honed your ability to search for truth in a way that honors data, science, and reason. These are just some of the benefits, of the great benefits, of the liberal arts and sciences education, which is really an education for life. No matter what, whatever the future brings, whether in geopolitics, artificial intelligence, you have the foundation to excel. In fact, some of you have already experienced the impact immediately as you have proceeded to master's and doctoral programs at institutions including Columbia, BU, University of Michigan, these robes. Others of you have been in careers in organizations including Fidelity Investments, Brigham and Women's Hospital, IBM, Oracle, PwC, Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, and others have committed to service through AmeriCorps, the Peace Corps, and City Year. Members of the class of 2020, we admire and commend you for the passion you have shown in addressing the critical issues of our time. As students, you raised your voices to decry structural inequalities in our society. In this, you followed in the tradition of Emmanuel students before you who advocated for a woman's right to vote, for civil rights, and a more just and peaceful world. I hope that in all your endeavors, you will hold true to this courageous spirit and to the ethos of this college community. More than ever, our world needs the light of those who consistently look beyond themselves and turn their lives into a gift for others. Finally, graduates, I encourage you once again, as I did 5 years ago, to create a life that is true to your authentic self. It is my prayer today and always that each of you may be filled with the gifts of the Spirit, wisdom, understanding, counsel, and courage. The 21st century may be rife with challenges, but remember what you heard here about the goodness of God and what you discovered and believe about your own deep goodness. So graduates, we are so grateful for your insights and ideas and for your many contributions to shaping the Emmanuel of today. Although we have missed your presence on campus, we know that the relationships you formed here continue to thrive. So I urge you to keep those bonds strong. You have been tweeting, texting, and of course, Zooming each other for 5 years. Do not stop now. Wherever you go in life, and you will go far, you will have one another, and you will always have a place at Emmanuel College. Class of 2020, we wish you every blessing as you continue to grow as leaders and as people of conscience, of compassion, and of action. May you live your lives joyfully and with purpose, and may Emmanuel, our God with us, be with you always. Thank you.
I would like now to invite Sister Janet to introduce the commencement speaker, Dr. Nancy Klinowski.
And I am indeed very pleased to introduce our class of 2020 commencement speaker, Dr. Nancy Klinowski, a 1970 graduate of Emmanuel College. Dr. Klinowski, has promoted and exemplified excellence in higher ed as a professor, researcher, scholar, and senior university administrator. In 2008, she became the first woman to be inaugurated president of the State University of New York at Oneonta, where she led until 2018. Dr. Klinowski has long served as a voice for equality and justice in American society. Her commitment to uncovering the root causes of contemporary issues is rooted in her classes with Sister Maria Augusta-Neal in sociology. As an Emmanuel trustee, Dr. Klinowski played a vital role in assuring the college today. Please join me in welcoming a superb achievement and wisdom of Dr. Klinowski.
Good afternoon, Sister Janet, members of the Emmanuel family, and graduates. Thank you for the privilege of speaking to you today. It's hard to believe it's been 51 years since I stood right outside this building in my cap and gown. But even though many years divide our classes, our Emmanuel heritage unites us. Comparing my experience to yours, I see both differences and similarities. Some of the differences are obvious. You're a co-ed group, while my cohort was all women. There were no men in our classes, no men's sports teams, and above all, no men in the residence halls ever. Another difference is how we communicated with the outside world. You had cell phones and texts. We had one landline and one payphone on the floor shared by 40 students. For entertainment, you had Netflix in your room. We had a black and white TV in the basement lounge. A lot has changed since then. And yet, there are some striking similarities between your class and mine. We both graduated into a conflicted nation and a troubled world. We both witnessed struggles for civil rights, voting access, and racial justice. We both saw serious environmental problems and efforts to address them. We both had non-traditional graduation ceremonies. In 1970, Emmanuel, like many universities, closed a week early in response to the deaths of 4 students who were shot while protesting the US bombing of Cambodia. Final exams were canceled, and our commencement focused on the national crisis. In 2020, Emmanuel, like nearly all universities, suspended in-person classes in response to the COVID pandemic. Your closing was more disruptive than ours because it came right in the middle of the semester. But you and your professors figured out how to adapt to new ways of learning. I'm proud of you as students, and I'm proud of the faculty and administrators whose hard work helped you complete your degrees. Please take a moment now to thank your professors and the other staff who kept the college going during the pandemic. As recent graduates, you share another similarity with members of my class. That is the extraordinary mixture of elation and fear of leaving college and entering the so-called real world. But fear not, my friends and I thrived, and you will too. Like us, your Emmanuel education equipped you with skills for both professional and personal success. Your profession. Maybe you've already found your dream job. Or maybe it's still a work in progress. Or maybe you aren't even sure what it is. That's okay. In our changing economy, new jobs are being invented all the time. Then too, some of you may enter a field to find it doesn't suit you quite as well as you hoped. I've met dozens of accomplished people who rose to prominent positions in fields they never expected to enter. They started out in one direction, and life took them in an entirely different direction. Like me, I started my freshman year intending to be a special education teacher, and I ended up as a college president. Not exactly a straight path, but over time, life presented me with unexpected opportunities. And when those opportunities presented themselves, my Emmanuel education helped me take advantage of them. The secret of my success is that I have Emmanuel superpowers. These powers aren't like flying or X-ray vision. They're the liberal arts skills of analytical thinking, clear communication, and lifelong learning. These superpowers let me switch gears fluidly and apply old knowledge to new situations, and to travel down unfamiliar paths with confidence. For your future, how you think will be as important as what you know. To move ahead, you'll need to cope with uncertainty, to take calculated risks, and to learn from your mistakes, which you will inevitably make. My Emmanuel superpowers prepared me for my professional journey, and yours does too. But a career is only part of your story. In addition to making a living, you're making a life. You'll likely be a spouse, a parent, a community member, a citizen. When I reflect on how my time at Emmanuel shaped my life, I see some lasting influences. My sociology and political science classes sparked a lifelong interest in inequality and social policy. A spring break program volunteering in Roxbury led to my commitment to community service. And the values I learned at Emmanuel gave me my moral compass. When I look back, I can see the imprint of an Emmanuel education in my most important decisions. And how can I not mention the impact of Fenway Park? My identity as a lifelong Red Sox fan was cemented in my sophomore year. That was the season they called the impossible dream, when the Sox won the American League pennant in a four-way race. My roommate and I ran down to Kenmore Square to celebrate, and then watched the World Series on TV in that basement lounge. The Sox made it all the way to Game 7 before finally losing to St. Louis, but I was hooked. Throughout my life, as I moved to different cities, I kept changing my football team to whatever the local favorite was, but I always stayed loyal to the Red Sox, and it only took them another 37 years to win the World Series. In closing, I'm thrilled to celebrate with you today. I trust that your experiences at Emmanuel have prepared you for both the expected and the unexpected opportunities you'll find along your path. I urge you to stay in touch with the friends and mentors you met here and thank them for their help. Finally, remember to draw on your Emmanuel superpowers. They are the key to dealing with changes, challenges, and opportunities in work and life. Congratulations and best wishes for a bright future.
President Sister Janet Eisner, it is my privilege to present to you the members of the Emmanuel College Class of 2020, who fulfilled all of the requirements for the degrees of Master of Education, Master of Science in Human Resource Management, Master of Science in Management, Master of Science in Nursing, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science. Because the graduates have previously received their diplomas, Sister Janet will present each graduate with a symbolic certificate. In order that each graduate's name may be heard, we request that you hold applause until all graduates have received their certificates. Will all of the members of the Emmanuel College Class of 2020, including graduates of our graduate and professional programs and of our traditional undergraduate arts and sciences programs, please rise and come forward. Gianna Regine Kittle. Bruce R. French. Molly Quinn Gray. Joining Molly on stage is her mother, Mary Beth Gray, class of 1990. Emily G. Haney. Catherine M. Keating. Nadine Landino. Solroth Sar. Lorna Vaughn. Annabelle Aguirre. Melissa Allen. Nelissa Ann Alispo Amar. Caitlin Elizabeth Amorin. Abigail Grace Andrews. Brooke Diana Basiagalupo. Anissa Bala. Lauren Marie Badin. Simon Balaguera. Kayla Dulcina Baltazar. Victoria Barrett. Charlotte Joy Barton. Tatiana Maria Bazzani. Spencer Bupre. Olivia Jordan Beaton. Emma Cecilia Bellinger. Jennifer Emmanuel Belizaire. Megan Ann Braganca. Jillian Ray Bert. Rachel Christine Betancourt. Nathan Andrew Bishop. Elena Boucher. Benjamin Louis Bracuti. Riley Fallon Breen. Kayla Briggs. Lori Andrea Brizuela. Emma Catherine Brousseau. Melanie Ann Bruno. Nicholas Bushnell. Sophia Marie Cardini. Hannah Karen Carr. Marie Helen Carr. John Thomas Carroll, Jr. Shannon Marie Carroll. Audrey Catherine Casey. Abigail Rose Chrétien. Gianna Maria Kaufman. Caitlin Elizabeth Coleman. Robert Columbus. Rachel Elizabeth Corsetti. Benjamin Albert Craig. Nicole M. Cronin. Ashley Joshara Custodio. Cheyenne Delangort Simon. Tatiana D. Dulise. Adriana Dalis. Joseph Michael D'Amico. Noel Dignan. Colin Michael Dearborn. John DeBrito. Victoria Elizabeth Frost Diaz. Mary Rose Dillon. Diana Doe. Shannon Abundez Donahue. Rachel Olivia Dowdell. Melissa Ann Duffy. Osaruman Joshua Edoswam Samwan. Christina Eng. Whitney Omasede Enokabahira. Raymond Alexander Etzo. Patrick James Fay. Caroline Rose Ferrari. Jonathan Palmer Ferrarini. Bernardo Jose Santos Ferreira. Abigail Elizabeth Flynn. George Fotheringham. Peyton Fowler. Ashley Francois. Stefania Fretch. Kevin Gerard Flaherty. Alexander Stanton Flanagan. Kayla Marie Furtado. Jessica Gavin. Oliver Sammy Gattas. Melina Lisbeth Gillenberg. Giselle Lucia Gonzalez. Ryan Gorham. Kyle James Griffiths. Andrew Xavier Griffin. Emily Elizabeth Hansen. Victoria Rose Harding. Blake Hardy. Mary Catherine Harper. Lauren Ray Hawkins. Maeve Bernadette Haggerty. Amelia Rose Higginbotham. Jacob David Hill. Sarah Marie Heusel. Sydney Ayakoi. Hugmoyel Jean. Kai Andrew Jean Simon. Alexandria Dorothy Morris Jesse. Isabel Franklin Jones. Jenny Marie Job. Riley William Keefe. Caitlin Marie Killian. Sarah Kerr. Megan Marie Kimball. Yona Sky Kimball Smith. Amy Lynn Knowles. Miriam Ruth Lowe. Kevin Alexander Lux Van. Joseph Terry LeBuff. Samantha Joy Lane. Paige Legere. Michael Legere. Catherine Leona Laramie. Maggie Elizabeth Loisel. Ashley Longo. Emily Majeska Leaford. Christy A. Eddy. Caitlin Cipriano. Anna Christine McLean. Hannah Sarah Mahoney. Colleen Gallagher Malloy. Gianna Rose Mangiarelli. Sina Mavadat. Lucy Eileen McGing. Diane Florence McGregor. Ryan Paul Malloy. Tia Faye Moores. Matthew Charles Morano. Mariah Murphy Thornley. Jillian Alexandra Massey. Megan Marie Mundy. Amanda Martone. Morgan McKay. Rachel Mary McGrath. Brittany Cargill Miller. Jessica Danielle Myers. Rosemary Elizabeth Murphy. Erin Renee McCarthy. Charles Martin. Serena Gabrielle Morin. Narissa Moriarty. Joshua Robert Mahler. Hannah Nally. Leslie Nealon. Matthew Smith Nelson. Michael Montesanti. Siobhan Diane McGrath. Sophia Pamela Morin. Sarah Marjoria Nasser. Lily Nickerson. Allie Mezzo. Seamus McDonough. James Kinvin O'Leary. Kathleen M. O'Neill. Melissa Yamale Ordonez. Olivia Ann Orsino. Anne Egan O'Shea. Megan Dakota Osmolsky. Maria Christina Palmieri. Sabrina Paulino. Samantha May Peckham. Juliana Pelletier. Alexa Ray Panisi. Isabella Maria Peruzia. Natalie Flore Petite. Rachel Cam Pierce. Nicole La Rochelle. Sandra Benoit Plessival. Aymar Jesus Principe Laverde. Connor Joseph Prangley. Jacob A. Pruitt. Madison Lee Riccardelli Provencher. Taylor Grace Rathbun. Alexander Ratuyala. Elena Ferris Rector. Miranda Taylor Rigo. Selena Marie Reese. Daniela Restrepo. Kylie Elizabeth Rice. Cole Reish. Tori Linnea Reiger. Molly Moyer Robertson. Raquel Ann Robson. Angela Romilia. Emily Ryan. Victoria Marie Sam. Tatiana Marie Santilli. Leah K. Sarver. Anna Patricia Sasso. Jordan Olivia Sawyer. Jacqueline Ann Schneider. Julia Shapiro. Patricia Regina Steinhagen. Kylie Michelle Sharp. Casey Sierra. Christine Helen Mary Smith. Alexander Gerald Ships. Abigail Jean Snow. Riley Lynn Simmons. Nathaniel Spencer. Anna Nell Stanley. Rachel Marie Suku. Charlotte Ann Solik. Nicole Ann Sweeney. Justin L. Schuler. Ian Anthony Tate. Sam Keaton Tierney. Jack Richland Ull. Thomas Furio Urbanowski. Jessica Araceli Ventura. Elisa Marie Carvalho Welch. Cameron West. Dylan Chase Williams. Carrie Ann Sendrick. Cloda Mary Walsh. Parker Ryan West. Daniel Joseph Zakzuski. Karen Vigil. Laura Zine. President Sister Janet Eisner will now congratulate the graduates. Will all of the members of the Emmanuel Class of 2020 please rise?
Members of the class of 2020, I join with the Emmanuel College Board of Trustees in recognizing your achievements and in welcoming you formally as graduates of Emmanuel College. Congratulations.
Molly Quinn Gray from the class of 2020 will now lead the graduates in the traditional turning of the tassels, symbolizing their reception of their academic degrees. Will all graduates please stay standing, for the turning of their tassel. Congratulations, class of 2020 again. I am now going to invite all of the families and friends celebrating here today to rise and receive a round of applause from the graduates with thanks for your support. It is my pleasure to welcome back Julia Shapiro from the class of 2020 to lead us in singing the Alma Mater. We ask the audience to please remain standing.
Alma Mater, honored mother, guardian of our youth, guiding hand with thee we stand upon the way of truth. Emmanuel, we hail thee, thy glorious deeds untold. We pledge our loyalty to thee. 'Neath thy banners of blue and gold.
Please be seated. On behalf of the college, I extend again congratulations to the members of the class of 2020 and thank their guests for sharing this occasion with us. We ask the audience to kindly remain in place until members of the platform party, faculty, and graduates have exited the gym. I look forward to celebrating with you further at our reception. Those of you joining us via live stream, please continue to tune in as we share the names of all who earned degrees as part of the class of 2020. President Sister Janet Eisner will now conclude our live ceremony.
As president of the college, I hereby declare that the class of 2020 commencement celebration of Emmanuel College is now closed.